At her feet he sank, he fell, he lay still. At her feet he sank, he fell. Where he sank, there he fell, dead.
This verse, carved into the memory of an ancient people, echoes from the slopes of a mountain that has seen kings rise and empires crumble. A mountain that has stood silent and steadfast, holding in its stones the weight of history and faith. This is Mount Tabor, a mountain of prophecies and battles, of revelations and quiet contemplation. Mount Tabor rises 562 meters above sea level, not the highest peak of Galilee. Yet its isolation in the Jezreel Valley gives it an air of grandeur. It stands alone, an inselberg, shaped over millions of years by the gentle erosion of wind and rain. To its east lie the villages of Shibli and al-Rainam. To its west, the village of Deboria clings to the mountain slopes. Just beyond, 9 kilometers away, stands Nazareth, cradle of Christianity, the hometown of Jesus of Nazareth. Beneath spreads the Jezreel Valley, a fertile plain that has been both a blessing and a battlefield. Once, chariots thundered across its fields in wars of survival. Now, it is a patchwork of orchards, vineyards, and fields, feeding a modern nation. Mount Tabor appears time and again in the Hebrew Scriptures, a familiar name in stories of borders and battles. In the book of Joshua, it marks the boundaries of the tribes of Zebulun, Issachar, and Naphtali. But its place in history was sealed in the days of the judges. It was here that Deborah the prophetess summoned Barak, son of Abinadab, commanding him to gather 10,000 men and face the iron chariots of Sisera. From the slopes of Mount Tabor, Barak's army descended, their courage fueled by prophecy, their victory remembered in song.
The kings came and fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan in Tanach by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money.
Years later, Gideon's vengeance also played out on this mountain, when he captured the Midianite kings Zebah and Zalmunna. He recalled his fallen brothers and declared justice with his own hand. The Psalms celebrate Tavor in their poetry.
The north and the south thou hast created them. Tavor and Hermon shall rejoice in thy name.
And the prophet Jeremiah invokes its prominence.
As Tavor among the mountains, and as Carmel by the sea, so shall he come.
Even Hosea casts Tabor in a shadowed light, warning of corruption and idolatry.
You have been a snare on Mitzpah, and a net spread on Tavor.
For Christians, Mount Tabor carries another profound layer of meaning. Though the Gospels never name it directly, tradition holds that this is the site of the Transfiguration of Jesus. In the accounts of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, Jesus took Peter, James, and John to a high mountain apart. There, his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became dazzling white as he spoke with Moses and Elijah. By the 4th century, church fathers such as Origen and Cyril of Jerusalem identified this high mountain as Tavor. Since then, pilgrims have flocked to its heights to stand where divinity is said to have touched the earth. At the summit today stands the Church of the Transfiguration, a masterpiece of light and stone designed by Antonio Barluzzi. Its twin towers frame the horizon, and its gardens are carefully tended by Franciscan hands. At night, the church glows softly, a beacon visible from the valley below. The church's architecture combines Romanesque and Neo-Byzantine elements, with tall towers, mosaics, and stonework that blends into the golden light of the Galilean hills. Whether viewed from the air during sunrise or explored quietly on foot, the church at the top of Mount Tabor is more than a religious monument. It is a place of peace, memory, and awe. Just beside the entrance to the summit complex, nestled behind stone walls and shaded by trees, lies the Greek Orthodox Monastery of Mount Tabor. It sits quietly near the main gate, on the eastern side of the mountain, only a short walk from the Franciscan church. This monastery belongs to the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate of Jerusalem and is inhabited by a small group of devoted monks who live in prayer, seclusion, and simplicity. The monastery stands at a site which, according to Orthodox tradition, marks the place of the Transfiguration of Jesus. The moment when Christ revealed his divine nature to Peter, James, and John in radiant light. Though the nearby Franciscan church is more frequently visited by pilgrims, the Orthodox monastery maintains its own quiet, spiritual presence atop the mountain. The monastery is not open to the general public on a regular basis, but daily prayers and services are held within its modest chapel. During major feasts, especially the Feast of the Transfiguration on August 6th, the monastery becomes a center of religious celebration for the Orthodox Christian world, drawing monks, priests, and worshippers. The monks who reside here lead a humble and disciplined life, cultivating a spirit of silence, reflection, and connection to the sacred land beneath their feet. The grounds of the monastery include a small garden with herbs, vegetables, and fruit trees, tended to by the monks themselves. Simple terraces made of local stone outline small plots, and shaded pathways provide quiet areas for meditation and work. The scent of rosemary and wild mint often floats in the air, carried by the mountain breeze. From the heights of the mountain, a patchwork of cultures unfolds below. Here, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Druze, Circassian, and Bedouin families live in close proximity, often collaborating in agriculture. Children from different backgrounds attend nearby schools. Doctors treat patients of all communities. Farmers help farmers, regardless of religion or origin. This coexistence is not always easy, and certainly not utopian, but it is real. It finds expression in shared harvests, local celebrations, bilingual schools, and quiet moments of everyday cooperation. These are not headline stories, but they shape life deeply and consistently. In many ways, the Lower Galilee stands as a living example of what shared life can look like. A region where diverse communities with deep roots and different traditions continue to grow not in conflict, but alongside one another, enriching the land and each other. Once the entire northern landscape of the land of Israel, from the hills of the Upper Galilee all the way down to the Sharon Plain, near what is today Tel Aviv, was covered in dense Mediterranean forests. Towering oaks, carobs, terebinths, and Aleppo pines formed a sweeping green belt across the country's backbone, creating shade, moisture, and life for countless generations. But by the late 19th and early 20th centuries, these ancient forests had nearly disappeared. Under the Ottoman Empire, huge tracts of forest were systematically cut down, primarily to supply wood for the Hejaz Railway and other military infrastructure. The demand for timber was relentless. Hillsides were stripped bare, soil eroded, springs dried, and once sacred groves were reduced to stumps and dust. Today, the forests are returning across the Galilee and on Mount Tabor itself. Large-scale reforestation efforts are underway, led by state agencies, environmental organizations, and individual citizens who plant, protect, and preserve. Slowly, the oaks are reclaiming their place, pines rise again on the ridgelines, wildlife returns, springs are flowing longer into the summer. What we see today on Mount Tabor, its groves, trails, and green slopes, is not just nature. It's restoration, it's memory taking root again. As the drone glides slowly over the village of Shibli at night, streetlights line the quiet roads, and warm windows glow gently between the houses. There's a simple beauty in the way the lights dot the hillside, a quiet kind of magic. if you ever find yourself nearby, take the detour, follow the winding road up, stand at the top, look out, and let the mountain do what it's done for thousands of years. Admire the beauty of the land.